Well, let's break down 2027, right? Let's do it. We want to.
I'm handing off the reins.
I'm taking the wheel. Watch out. We're going on a ride. But yeah, we'll start with the quarterback, and I'm really like going to go this about in like a kind of a mindset, like what spots do we need to fill, right? So in 2027, with I'm assuming everyone that is eligible will be coming back in this exercise, right? Like probably not the reality. In reality, some guys are going to be very talented, especially if we find success again like we did last year. A lot of guys are going to be able to leave early, go right to the pros, and make a lot of money right away, which I think is very exciting and a great opportunity. But in this exercise, I'm going to assume that everyone is coming back. So we got Tyler Cherry and Jacob Bell already on scholarship. Obviously, Maverick Geske, the preferred walk-on, and is picking up the offense. Is only for great things about him. The fact that he's even mentioned is a great sign from a walk-on guy. But scholarship-wise, bringing back Cherry and Bell. Already have Jamison Purcell committed. Seems locked in. Comes from an IU family. Really don't see anyone reaching in there and swiping the cookie away from us. I think we're in a good spot there. And that's a position group where also like you would like to have 4 scholarship guys. And I think that opens the room to bring in another transfer to compete with Tyler Cherry coming in next year. So I think they're set up very well at the quarterback position. And I don't really see them going after any other freshman targets as of right now. Doesn't really seem like a big thing. So quarterback's pretty set right now. So then we'll move on.
Yeah. I would only add to that there was, at least to me, seemed like a little bit more than like, I would call it real smoke around. I think they did sniff around for Keegan Croucher. I didn't like go and confirm that or the old Miss kid who was kind of looking around, but there was more than a couple like mentions of him that I didn't think were like by accident. You know what I mean? But ultimately, it didn't really make much sense to add to the class because of how good Jamison Purcell first of all, how long he's been committed. Second of all, how he's been performing. It didn't really make sense.
How long ago were those murmurs?
It was a while.
I started playing catch up after spring. Like as soon as spring ended,
we've been off for a while. Like it never really materialized. It was like, why do we keep appearing in rumors with this guy? And then all of a sudden we were off of it, which makes sense.
Oh, foot cramp. Lakers down 10. All right. It's still in striking distance with Braun. Anyways, on to running back. So very exciting group.
Wait, hold on. Apparently, from Commando in the chat, apparently Tino visited Croucher today.
What? Keegan Croucher at a Baylor
school. I'm behind.
He's committed to Ole Miss currently.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll add him to the board. But he is currently committed, so it's like makes it really tough. Haven't gotten him on campus. So it's like all these guys I'm going to be talking about have visits scheduled and by that means that like if you have a publicly visit scheduled, like I'm going to consider that as real and run with it, right? And
I think that's fair.
But yeah, we got like guys like Croucher maybe like could bring him in, like would be fun, especially with like could make that type of move could make sense, especially if we're like thinking like Tyler Cherry could be QB1 next year. And then we got Bell, Purcell, and Croucher battling for QB2. Like that would make me feel good. Honestly, I would like that. I would love some continuity at the quarterback position over a couple of years. Tyler Cherry would be like a multi-year starter with this program. Maybe blows up and goes crazy in that first year and be off to the league. And who knows with this level.
All looks good coming out of his hand, man.
It's the VR, man. The VR, man. It gets people going. Tyler Cherry was off the roster last year. He was in the VR headset the whole time. He was just locked in. He was just running VR. We were beating Wisconsin or whatever, UCLA by 50, and he was just in the locker room in a VR headset the whole time doing that thing. I think I would like to imagine that's what was going on. So yeah, maybe they make a move for a second freshman quarterback and they go a little young again. Like this, they're in a position now where they have like 60 guys potentially coming back next year, where they have a little nucleus of guys that have been around the program for a long time that they built up as kind of like that core of the program, to where now they're in a position to bring in the class of 2025 and they can kind of go youth movement is what we can almost call it, where they might only have like 5 seniors next year if they were to go all in on this freshman class and not bring in a ton of transfers, which could be really exciting, but also maybe we take a rebuild years and like go like 10-2, win a game like 11-3, win a playoff game, like go to the playoff, and we just have a little rebuild year, but we still find tons of success, win a ton of football games, drink a bunch of beers with the fellas, drink your Hoosier beer at Sluggers. That is an ad read. Donate to NIL. But yeah, we'll move on to running back, and I think what's really cool about this group is they're going to have 4 guys coming back, like Kobe Martin, Turbo Richard, assuming they have great years. Like, one thing that's great is that you don't really see too often multiple guys at multiple positions going into the draft at once. Really, the only time that really happens is if they're all seniors, like a Black and a Hemby. Like, ideally, you want like your one representative at running back, like Lee Beebe's at the combine, then you go Turbo Richard, then you go Kobe Martin the year after. Like, whether or not they're like not having them all at once, because then they're like competing against each other, and it's like kind of counterintuitive, and it's just like hurting their own draft stocks almost, because they're competing against their own guy. Makes things tough, but like those things can still happen. Like, guys can still leave early, but regardless, we're assuming they're back, right? So then it kind of leaves the competition for that third running back spot open, and they already brought in Landon, and that will compete with Campbell and Cuono that are already on the roster and doing good things. Was really impressed with Campbell in the spring game, the true freshman. Where now they had this 5-star Landon Callis Williams out of Randall High School in Richmond, Virginia. He's between Indiana,
the only Texas school. Kid?
No, he is from Randall in Richmond, Virginia. He's from Richmond, Virginia, DMV guy. Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas A&M. The only visit he has scheduled is Indiana, and he's already been on campus. This could be a really big get and a big domino to fall. We already talked about the 3 5-stars last week with Sales, Brewster, and Williams Kalis. Like, I really like her. I think Williams Kalis is the most likely guy to commit out of those 3. And no one's talking about it from the Hoosier side. Like, that would be such a big get. But then we have a 3-headed monster of Williams Kalis, Kobe Martin, and Turbo Richard. Like, that is insane. That would be really fun. Like, dude, you're a 5-star coming out. Like, I know I talk about how it's hard for freshmen to break in, but like, you're a 5-star. Like, you have a really good chance to get early playing time no matter where you go. Like, there's a reason why you have that next to your name.
It's the freshman playing on varsity.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Bang, Keezer. Let's go. I teach you so well.
Yeah. I listen. I pay attention. I absorb.
He's picking it up. He's a sponge, folks.
There's a couple other targets at running back that are pretty intriguing.
For sure. Like, a lot of backup options. Like, we talked 4-star David Segura, who's going to be on campus on May 15th. He's from Duncan, South Carolina, so he's between South Carolina, Tennessee, Penn State. Look at Stanford in there. Wow. And Indiana. So fun. Indiana's going to be his first visit, though, which is really fun for him. And another
Elijah Kimball's been on campus.
Elijah Kimball, the Buffalo kid, North Carolina, Miami, Washington, Indiana. Once again, the reason why they're in such a good position, a lot of these guys, Indiana is their first visit. They have that with Elijah Campbell. They have that with David Segura. They have that with Williams Kalis. And they even have that with Dejon Talley Rhodes, who is basically between Indiana, Penn State, and then like Boston College, Michigan State, Washington. It feels like it's an Indiana, Penn State thing, and he's really just really kind of waiting. I bet he's just waiting on that Williams Kalis decision, seeing where he's going to go, to be quite honest. He's a 3-star guy, fringe 3-star, 4-star guy. They're actually not going after too many 3-stars. Like, I have a board of about 30 visits. 18 of them are blue chip guys. Think about that. They're going for it. I'll say that. They are going for it. They are shooting for the moon. And obviously they'll get their 3-stars that will all be studs, naturally. And, so love that. Great position, like, recruiting-wise, like, at the running back spot, great spot. Great spot to be at. Got a 5-star main target. Got a couple 4-stars matriculated in there, as well as, Dally Rhodes. And they can be it can be really fun. And, you see the Black and Hemby production like that. It's an easy sell. Easy sell. With Kalen Black going top 100, that was huge for the recruiting pitches. And why I feel so good about a Williams Kalis commitment coming up is that Kalen Black sneaking into the top 100. Like, that's all of a sudden you got a pitch. That's Signetti's first top 100 running back NFL guy. Like that's his first one. Didn't get any. Ellison and Lawton didn't even really sniff NFL rosters. And they had great productive seasons. Like they were awesome. And then, Hemby's now on the Raiders, which I feel like was by design. I think he wanted to go undrafted to ensure he's with Mendoza. And obviously Black getting in that top 100. Because if you want him at top 100, if you want it to get less political, you just take him in the top 100. That's your guy. Like, I feel like if Black drops past like 150, he's like, all right, we're going to the Raiders. Like, you know what I mean? Like, screw it. But yeah, I feel really good. Running backs and quarterback really feel strongly about those groups moving forward. Receiver gets really fun. In theory, could have Marsh and Becker back. In addition to Davion Chandler, LeBron Bond, maybe Miles Kendrick breaks in there a little bit. Still got Cortez Rupert and LeVar Keys in the wings, and they have a good amount of – I think you just got to address the elephant in the room. We just talked about those two main guys, Marsh and Becker, as like potential NFL like top 20 picks. So like got to think at least one of them goes, right? Like at least.
They're both gone. Dude, they're both
gone. They're both gone, but at least
one of them world, they're both gone. Like what are we talking about? It almost
makes sense. You would think they're going after more receivers, but they're actually not. They only have 3 receivers going on campus so far. That's Monshawn Sales, Showtime, baby. The 5-star, he's really between Indiana and Alabama, but obviously Miami and Ohio State and Texas are making their pitches as well. Obviously, he's a 5-star. Can't count anyone out in those types of races.
Hearing a lot of Texas.
Probably hearing a ton about it because they were probably throwing bags at him, right? So it's about, do you want the bag or do you want to win? That's the decision Showtime Sales has to make. And this guy, like, he reminds me of Randy Moss in the sense where you're a 6'5" track guy. Like, is he the 50-50 ball catcher that Randy Moss is? Of course not. But he's got 6'5" track speed. Like, you don't, that does not grow on trees. Julio wasn't even 6'5" track. Julio was probably running 4.5 out of college. Like, this Sales guy runs the anchor and the best 4x100 team in the country in high school. And Lawrence North. So he's a stud.
He does kind of remind me of Cam Coleman.
No, he's not as built out. He needs to put on
because
some
Cam
weight.
Coleman's a junior in college. What do you mean?
Yeah, but he's a skinny 6'5".
Sales is running track.
Yeah. Cam Coleman, yeah, he could evolve into that. These are high school guys.
No, I know. But I'm just saying,
like,
you talk about a guy that oozes talent very obviously to the naked eye. Like, yeah, that's one.
I'll say this: I'm a skinny guy. He's got 3 inches on me, and we're the same weight. So just let that sink in real quick. Okay?
You also have 10 years on him. Like,
true, I do kind of have that beer gut weight going on for me. I'm still hoping.
What is he going to look like after 6 months in the Kurt Signetti system? Like, yeah, he's going to look a little bit bigger. I remember what Omar Cooper
he's going to play right away. Don't get it twisted. And I want to talk about this other guy, Brylan Odor. He is kind of like a low-end 4-star, but they really like this guy. He is coming onto campus on May 15th out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He's between Indiana, USF. You want to know why that's significant? Because Brian Hartline coaches there. That is a great offer to have in my mind. If you got the Brian Hartline offer, he thinks you're good at receiver. Yeah. That's a good endorsement. Very similar to Charlie Becker having the Ole Miss offer. And then Odor also has Auburn, and guess what? Ole Miss as well. Wow, that's his top 4 right now. We're his first visit. I think you bring in Odor and Sales after losing Marsh and Becker. Like, those are guys that should be projected to contribute right away. And then they're really on this 3-star Braden Sharp, who I feel like is a stash play development guy, who I feel like they're really high on, and they're going to bring in, who will also eventually commit. So if they're able to land all 3 of those guys and lose Becker and Marsh, like, I feel like they're – and then maybe bring in one more guy from the portal. Like that, all of a sudden, receiver room may not be as good, but like has a lot more upside than what we've ever had. Which
that's a guy who people have not watched enough of.
Braden Sharp.
Yeah,
I know we missed out on that. Who was that? The Matha kid that that was committed and then decommitted.
No, you're talking about the he ended up going to High Brown. Yeah,
High Brown. He was very good.
You don't want to say anything because you like at the end of the day we have no idea where these kids are going to end up committing. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of the reason why they were okay with that.
Yeah, it's
Brandon Sharp
it's
is
like
really
you
good.
just said, like you're either in or
Really,
you're
really,
out.
really
Like
good.
we'll find another guy. Like Jahide Brown leaves, we'll go get Braden Sharp. Like
I
Brandon Sharp,
I
right?
think
Like
he
you know
was
what I
in the
mean?
plans regardless.
Yeah, he probably was, and that's the thing. Like I said, they're probably gonna bring in additional. Like if they were able to bring in all four of those guys, I don't think they go for a portal guy. But now they might have an extra spot with Becker and Marsh leaving. But
I think I think you're looking at what they classically do is you're bringing in one or two guys from high school, and then they're going to try and fill the like. Look at who they went and got in the portal in the last couple of years. Like Tyler Morris coming back this year is a complete luxury. Like the fact that they just have him around, and maybe they are planning on having one of Marsh or Becker back, but they're. You also look at what they've been able to do with guys in one season. Like it's the best portal sell in the country. Like if you're not going to get the absolute bag of all bags from Texas or the bag of all bags from Miami, you know what I mean? And you're not going to get some exorbitant amount. Where are you actually going to get better, develop, and get a chance to go play in the NFL? There's nobody doing it better right now. For as much of a factory as Ohio State has always historically been, what Indiana has been able to do with guys that have been historically overlooked at every position, it's the best sell for any guy who truly wants to win, and that's why they'll be able to keep the culture because they'll be able to get the right guys who want to buy in. You're attracting the right people. So it's
they can go throw bags at high school is all they want. We're gonna keep doing our thing. But that's who we're targeting. We still, despite all that, might get Showtime sales for.
Yeah, listen. I don't think they're unreasonable. Like this is a guy who is building those Nick Saban early championship teams. Like we want to act like we're like. I'm not saying like we're not doing anything, but you know what I mean. Like this is a guy who knows how to build a roster. Like he understands that if you want the best type of freshman as you start moving up the ladder, like you have to go. If you want a 5-star, you got to get a 5-star. Like that's how you play the game.
Yeah,
this guy's played the game for his entire life.
You like him if he's got the right stuff, as Signetti likes to say. Like you go get him,
and he's worth it.
Yeah. And Trojan Fight asks, "Is that a Lakers jersey?" And yes, it is. Pasadena, California, Loyola High School. What is up, Trojan Fight? I'm as LA as it gets. Live in Chicago.
See, common ground, commonality. How could you not?
That's how I know so much about you guys. I know everything about you. I know all your little dirty secrets, USC. I know all about it. I know about Brian Cushing. I know about Ray Monaluga. I know about John David Booty. I know all these guys. I even know who Dwayne Jarrett is, Big Mike Williams. Come on now. Bobby Trees. What are we talking about? USC, man. They got some lore, I'll tell you that. They have a right to be as cocky as they are. They've had some sick ass players come through there. Like Nelson Aguilar. They had like Marquise Lee, Nelson Aguilar, and Robert Woods.
Refocus, because I think I know where we're going next. I'm kind of excited to talk about it.
Yeah, so then it kind of segues us in to tight end, where we're actually in a battle. Whoa, where do you think I was going to go?
No, I thought you were going to the line, but no, talk about the tight ends.
No, I'm going to the tight end room, which we're very young, but we do have a couple guys going on to visits. And this is why I implied, like, yeah, these guys are young, but they're going to battle it out. Iron sharpens iron. May the best man win. And who's kind of left out might have to go find greener pastures, because you really don't want a ton of guys with similar classes, right? You don't want a bunch of freshmen and seniors, because then it's like eventually they're all going to want to play, and they just straight up won't be able to because they're all seniors and juniors, and they're still battling between the six of them. So it's like it's inevitable, right? So they're going to supplant that. They're going after some big time tight end targets. First one being the blue chip out of New Palestine, Indiana, Mason Oglesby, 6'4", 220. He's between Indiana, Ohio State, USC, Kansas, North Carolina, and Purdue. He's been on campus at Indiana, North Carolina, and Purdue. USC's obviously a player there. Ohio State
also on campus
a player there. North Carolina has been said to be making big pushes for him. I think this is probably one of the most heavily recruited tight ends.
This is the most heavily contested, I think, one that they're probably
this is going to be a tough battle for them, but we'll love to bring in a guy of this caliber, up that blue chip ratio, get that blue chip ratio up to like 50% of the tight end room. Like, man, that's gross. And that would be
only
awesome.
half this podcast endorses blue chip ratio.
And we can well, I mean, obviously it doesn't matter in the long run, but I'm tracking it to see if it actually like improves Signetti. Like, are they winning natties by 50 now because they have a bunch of blue chips? Like, I'm learning on the fly here. That's why I'm tracking it. Because if they're winning the Natty with that blue chip ratio, like, man, that blue chip ratio gets up to 50, like, and
you wonder why I wake up so excited every
right
morning
about that shit. Like,
you wonder why I'm so excited to talk about the Indiana Hoosiers every all the time. It's because those thoughts are going through my head. Is what does it look like? What does it look like? I don't know. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of do. But we kind of do know.
Yeah. Oh, we all know. Well, but the world will soon know. And then they're also going after an Arizona kid named Talon Scott. He's going on campus May 15th. Very common theme here. Auburn, Kansas, SMU, Washington State, and Indiana. He's a 3-star guy, so it's not the craziest. Yeah, I don't think so either, Trojan Fight, because you guys paid Mark Bowman like $5 million, which I don't know what you were thinking, to be quite honest. He might be good, sure. But, I mean, he's a freak. His tape was insane. Like, I get it. But I think that's just way too much for him.
We talked about a 10-person class.
Whew. Anyways, but Talon Scott, Auburn, Kansas, SMU, Washington State, and Indiana. Just between the names there, Indiana's the only team that even sniffed the top 25 last year. So feel good for that spot if we want them. Like, I feel like that's the backup plan for Mason Oglesby. So that's what it feels like. Don't see them really bringing in 2 guys. They could get weird, but could be fun too. They definitely have the room for it if they really want to. But yeah, I think Mason Oglesby's plan A, and then Talon Scott's plan B is what it really seems like at the tight end spot. So let's move on.
Listen, they're not afraid to take 2 tight ends. They're not afraid to take 3 tight ends. So I wouldn't rule out anything.
Beautiful. So we're going to move on to O-line.
Yeah, because Commando is saying in the chat that O-line is the only recruiting space that he's worried about. So, Brad, do you share the same worry?
What do you mean they already have a 2026 tight end committed? They should be on campus.
No, he's saying he's defending the fact that USC is going to have a smaller class.
Oh, okay. I think he means 2027 class. They already have a tight end, and they brought in Mark Bowman. So, yeah. So I like our odds. Yeah, I really do think it's between Indiana and North Carolina for Mason Oglesby.
The North Carolina thing was weird. That happened super late, and I wouldn't be surprised if they finally decided.
He's already taken an official visit, though.
No, I know, but it happened later in the in his recruitment.
Well, we're in the prime time of recruitment right now. It's the summer.
I'm aware. When Indiana gets this deep into a recruitment with a kid, like, it's usually because they've been tracking him for a couple of years. Like, you hear constantly the theme that comes up with these guys is Indiana's had the first relationship. Indiana's had the longest relationship. And that's what is ultimately keeping them in these things with these bigger brands. And now they can drop the national title on these. I think that's what makes some people have those frustrations of like, why aren't we winning these battles? It's because the national title is like, we're firmly in the conversation. It's not enough sometimes to overtake what a lot of these brands are able to throw at people. And I think that's why you have the right guys in the room selling it. And yeah. I
agree. And Schwamathan says I need to upgrade my Zoom background. Disagree. This is actually where it's not Zoom background. It's where I live. And Trojan Fight, I need a Lakers score now. Lakers updates. Can you help me out? Appreciate it. O-line. This is a fun one because they're bringing back like 10 guys. Actually, 9 guys. 9 guys. Wilkins, Simpson, Livefree. Like, they're going to lose 4 seniors. Like, this is going to be one of those weirder kind of things to kind of wait and see. Are they going to go full youth movement on this O-line, or are they going to go in full Bostad guys? It's going to be the first time they're not going to have Bray Lynch, Drew Evans, and Carter Smith in the program, period, since Ignite's been there. So it'll be the first time they're actually really revamping the O-line. So it's probably the most exciting room to watch evolve going into the next offseason. And it'll be a big sign to see what they necessarily do based on kind of how this recruiting cycle plays out and how many guys they bring in. Like, are they going to lean in? This is assuming Ajani even comes back, right? Like, that's a guy that I feel like can go early if he wanted to. You know, he kind of projects as a guard. He's an undersized tackle. He's only 6'4". There's a lot of things to it. But assuming Ajani comes back, they have 9 guys with Jeremiah Jones already committed. This is a guy they took as a 0-star recruit. Definitely going to be a gem left tackle of the future. Like, I'm just going to trust
I'm
that.
so much higher on him than people like and obviously I don't have access to full game film and tape, but you watch his huddle and you look at how athletic he is for his size and the way he was able to get downfield, the way he's able to move his body at, again, the size he's at. Like, yeah, that dude is. I get it. Like, I understand why Bo said looked at that. Thank you, Shlomonton. Thank you.
This is where I live.
Just keep it up, guys. Top tier content.
Look at that.
Always love
Look
this
at that.
stuff.
It's not a
Very
Zoom
much
background.
appreciate you.
Woo! All right. Anyways.
But no, I'm much higher on on Jones than a lot of people were. When you watch him move, and it's like, yeah, I understand why Bob Bosa was like, I really like this guy. Let's bring him in. And I know some people were upset about the fact that he didn't have stars, but I've been talking about the Bloomington bump for a year and a half. Like, I trust the eyes that are in our in the room looking at the film so much more than I trust anybody with a Twitter account tweeting things about who and who isn't good. Like, yeah, give me the psychopaths that only know, eat, breathe, sleep football, don't do anything else. Like, I'm taking, if Bob Bosted tells me that guy's good enough to come into his room, I don't need anything else. I'm bought in. And then you watch him move. Yeah, like, what, you find me another tackle in high school getting up to the third level to go block safeties out in the open field. Go ahead. I challenge you. Please be my guest. I've never seen that before on a high school highlight tape. Maybe I just don't watch enough of them.
The fact they brought him in, he's the first 0-star commit since Roe Hardy, who's probably the best player on this team. So take that for what you will. Yeah, and then they're going after a good crop. We'll call it a good crop, right? You got Caleb Johnson. I'll just start with the Noblesville kids. They got a couple tackles out of Noblesville, Indiana, Noblesville High School. Teammates, Caleb Johnson, who's listed as a tackle. I think he can really I think he brings a lot of versatility. I think that's a guy that can really play all four positions, both guard spots and both tackle spots. I think that's an exciting addition potentially. He's between Cincinnati, Iowa, Michigan State, and Indiana. Based on those logos, you got to like Indiana's spot there. He's coming onto campus May 15th. Kalale Johnson, Mason McDermott, who's his teammate at Noblesville, Indiana, he's coming May 15th.
Who's been long linked to the Hoosiers.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a big-time weekend visit. I've already brought up a lot of guys coming in May 15th. It could really get things going. He's 6'7", 285, by the way, a true tackle body, Mason McDermott. Feels like he's more of a right tackle, and Jeremiah Jones feels like more of a left tackle just because of how athletic he is.
What freaks you out about Mason McDermott is that I know Iowa is also in on that recruitment, and anytime you hear Iowa and offensive line, it should make you shudder. Yeah,
because Caleb Johnson's on for Iowa too, but his Final Four right now, where all the trends are going, Northwestern, UCLA, which I think should scare the shit out of you even more.
It doesn't.
Missouri and then Indiana. So I like Indiana's spot.
There.
Once again, he's Indiana's first visit. Very similar to Caleb Johnson. Then they have another tackle coming on May 15th. His name's Kalale Johnson, Archbishop Moeller, big-time high school out of Cincinnati. He's a very heavy Ohio State lean at this point. But he's coming on campus May 15th. He's been in Ohio State, North Carolina, UCLA, again, Indiana, Georgia Tech. If we get him like that we're looking really good O-line wise. And I would love to picture just a youth movement for this team. Like, go back to back, do a little youth movement, go just win 3 out of 4, build it up again, and then just really have a lot of sustainability moving forward 3 years out and beyond is what I would love to see, assuming we win the Natty next year. But, yeah, and then who else are we going after on this O-line? But we'll love to get the Noblesville guys. Like, get the guys that are 4 stars in state. They're also looking at kicking the tires on a Connor Rutherford out of Chillicothe, Ohio. He's between NC State, Minnesota, Indiana. And Nicholas Schumann, a 0-star recruit out of Westfield, Indiana. They're very high on him. He's between Indiana and Purdue.
Dominic Black picked up an official visit.
Oh, really? I must have missed that. This is not updated. So, was he offensive line? You got to update the sheet for me, man.
I've been doing a lot of traveling. If you can't tell, I'm in a different background.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
Yeah, so we got options, but I think the priority for these guys should be really bringing in McDermott and Caleb Johnson. They're 4 stars right there, Noblesville, Indiana, teammates. Like, I think getting that duo would really solidify stuff for me in this O-line group. And but obviously the more the merrier, because we want to kind of be at like 14, 15 scholarship guys, that would make me feel really comfortable in terms of where we're at.
At the end of the day, I think your left tackle and right tackle of the immediate future are already on the roster. I think Liebfried is factoring into the offensive line, absolutely. And I think you look at the depth they've been able to build up in the class of 25 and 26. Like Marek looked pretty comfortable snapping the football. And so who knows who develops out of the class of 24, 25, and 26. Sam Simpson's another guy I didn't even mention who got the spring game start at guard. So I think a lot of things get overblown in terms of recruiting rankings, but nobody was going and screaming from the rooftops that Indiana brought in Drew Evans as a transfer. You know what I mean?
I know we have like a lot of pieces like Wilkin getting snaps at left tackle, like could have Ajani back at right tackle. They're already on the roster.
I would feel comfortable if Ajani was the left tackle.
Yeah, I know, I would too. And with Liebfried, I feel like being so versatile, he can end up being the center. It just really depends. Like they could do a lot. Like they might end up going a couple portal guys and to kind of fill the whatever holes they feel are necessary there. Definitely probably the biggest position group to look at going into the next offseason for sure, especially no matter what they do in the cycle. Even if they get Caleb Johnson and Mason McDermott and they have all those guys back, they could still make some noise. And right now I actually have Liebfried as my starting center in 2027. I have Sam Simpson as my starting left tackle as a redshirt freshman. Could be a spot that we fill through the portal, left guard.
And then
I got Evan Parker moved up there, and I got Matt Merrick as the backup center, but he can easily like move in there. He'd be a 2-year. He'd be considered a Signetti guy, a guy that's been through 2 full seasons in the system, in the program. So like really exciting. Like I think it's just trust Bostad at this point. Like whatever they do,
I'm not against.
That's like how it is with all these groups. Really, it's just like whatever they do, like we're just gonna trust it. But I'm just giving the lay of the land in terms of what they're prioritizing. I think getting that Noblesville duo, I think would be huge. Recruiting wise for Indiana, keeping the best players from Indiana in Bloomington, I think is a big precedent that we want to set. It feels like for some reason there's like a renaissance in Indiana high school football all of a sudden. Really got like 10 blue chip guys every year. You know,
why do you think that is, Brad?
No idea. I can tell you. I didn't realize your main college football staple being good all of a sudden at football would
support the local football economy.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be that quick, you know?
No, the speed at which it happened has been insane. But yeah, no, it's not surprising to me at all that all of a sudden the football around Indianapolis has ticked up a bit as kids are going to want to, and rightfully so, position themselves to get looked at by this coaching staff. They talk about the 4-hour radius. I don't think it's an accident that they challenge a lot of kids that would typically be Ohio State layups. Like they put a 4-hour circle in each direction. Like that's where the circle is. Yeah. Around Bloomington. And they said, everybody in here can be at one of our guys. And they are executing that plan. And I don't care if Notre Dame's up there. I don't care if Ohio State's over there. I don't care if Illinois is out there, Michigan's up there, whatever. Tennessee's down there. If we feel like we can walk in and go talk to a kid, we're going to go talk to the kid and try and sell the vision. And yeah, it's to your point though, if Bob Bostad is going to be like, these are my guys, I'm not going to be the one telling them, no, you're wrong. Go listen to On 3. Go listen to Rivals. I'll take the guy. I'll take Bob Bostad.
I love Jeremiah Jones. I think he's going to be so good. I think he might be a first-round pick when it's all said and done. He might be a 3-year guy. Like that guy, long arms, 6'6", 275. Give him a couple sandwiches. We're ready to go. Like
I'm saying he can be a starter in the Big Ten. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he is. He is freakish, and very excited for him to come on the campus.